Hi everyone, it's Jenny with Joey and Jenny's Little Yellow House. Welcome everyone, and I just want to remind you, you can find us on YouTube and Instagram at Joey143Jenny, and you can find us on Facebook at Joey and Jenny's Little Yellow House. So I want to welcome everyone. I want to thank all of those friends and new friends and old friends for subscribing and sharing our channel to help us grow. We really appreciate that. So today I wanted to come back and visit, yuck, what's this? Must be to help it not to run, that little tape. I wanted to visit the journal that we've been working on, and I'm doing a mini series on the topper. So I just wanted to give you an update on the topper. Also, look at some fabric flips, as well as maybe try to have some time to make buttons. So this is the topper as it is so far. And I'll bring it just a little closer so you can see some of it. So this here, I did applique that on. So there's a little bit of thread there. And I did it with the tuck under and then applique process. The rest of it, for the most part, is either slow stitched on with just running stitch kind of in a larger pattern. And then some of it is, let's see if I can get it to focus. Some of it is just a running stitch tightly around and then cut out around. So if this were on something that was going to be laundered or handled roughly, this would not work well because it would ravel. But since it's on a delicate, something that's going to hopefully be handled gently, this should hold fine. And then I just tacked down some, this is sari silk, and I believe, yeah, that's sari silk too. Then a little bit of doily this is just a cutout of a doily, and there's that one of my favorite laces. From my first video on the topper, I mentioned that I don't like to cover up the base if it's something that I truly love, and I do love this base, but I just couldn't stop myself. I just kept adding and adding, and really the only things that I think I have left to add on here is I do want to put, I think I'm just going to use this seam binding and for the tie, and then either this little yo-yo or this yo-yo. I like the brown, but I feel like the age of this one works better. They're both vintage. This one, of course, is a feed sack, so it's more than likely 40s-ish. And this is a double knit, and I believe it's probably closer to the 60s. This was a huge yo-yo that I cut down and restitched. Although I like the brown, I think this is a little bit softer palette. I still haven't decided yet, just because I just don't know if it's soft enough for what I want. But I do like how it kind of brings that orange around, so I'm going to leave that. I think I've ruled this one out for here. So I do need to stitch that on. Also, I wanted to make some button covers, and for this topper, I made a button out of Kathy Holden's fabric. I thought we could make a few more of those. And I think a few buttons would look cute on here. And since it's a topper and it's okay to be a little bulky, I think that's fine because it does have this hook application here. But I do have some flat buttons that I thought I would use for some of the fabric flip. So anyway, I'm going to work a little bit on that, and then I think that is going to be finished. The process of putting it on the journal, I believe I am just going to use Fabri-Tac on the back, And my thought is to make it just a flip. The reason is because oftentimes people, I know for myself, so I like to look at the back. There's just something about seeing the actual process of how the person that sewed actually did this, the seaming or the stitching. So it may just be one gigantic flip. We'll see. All right, so I'm going to put this aside. Put this whole journal aside, actually. Well, I'll just put this topper aside because I want to look inside here. So then the next thing is I wanted to do a couple of flips, and I did make this flip just out of some of the leftover. I made this little ruffle here. I thought that was cute, just laying down the side, and I believe that is from probably a tablecloth or something. The thing about it is that it wants to keep hanging over like that, so I thought I would just quickly tack it down here. Grab my little my needle and thread from when I did the other stitching. The rest of it I just stitched on with the sewing machine. Well, good grief, I can't get that tie a knot. So let me push you a little bit further here. So yeah, all I'm going to do is, I think I'm just going to go in at the seam down the, or yeah, the stitching right down the center. This is a cream color, and I did stitch the ruffle in a white, so, but I don't think it's going to matter. I'm just going to tack it a little bit here. I think just 2 stitches will be plenty. Just want to kind of keep it in its little spot there. And then I'll just tie it off, if I can see. So I was out the other day, Joey and I both were out just cleaning up, getting ready for spring planting of flowers and such, and raking and digging and, you know, getting rid of some of the I call them weeds, but I don't know what they really are. I guess they're weeds, but they're plants that grow up, and they're just so thick and all. And so I wanted to get rid of those because they can overtake my flower garden. So I was on my hands and knees digging those out, and then raked the whole front yard. And by the time I was done, my back was sore. And so my plan had been to do some of this stitching on the video, but because I was really couch ridden, so to speak, for a good afternoon day, I just went ahead and did it. So okay, and so then here is another little fabric flip. I thought I would put that in this as well. And you can see here I've just literally taken the scraps and put them on the same backing, that towel that I had. So this is that sweater lace that I showed you in the first video. This is just that little, I believe it was like a little dresser scarf. This is just some seam binding. This is a little scrap of Kathy Holden's fabric. This is a scrap of that curtain. And then I just quickly very rough stitched, and then cut out of Kathy's fabric as well. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple of rows across the top with the sewing machine just to secure that. And I think what I'm going to do real quick is put you on pause and do the stitching so that doesn't bother the camera too much, and then I'll just be right back. So Stay tuned one moment. Okay, I'm back. So I've got that stitched down, and I just did a couple of machines running stitches across the top, and then I dropped down about 3/4 of an inch and did another one just to make sure I got everything. And so I think it's ready. Let's try to find a spot for these two in the journal. Get all my stuff kind of out of the way here. All right. So I haven't done much. Actually, I don't know if I've done anything since I last showed you the inside. So now I'm just going to try to find a spot for a tuck. I'd like to put one in the front and one in the back, part of the signature. It's getting pretty full as far as something on each page, but it's not completely full. My thought is it works better with a flip on the page that lays down. So in the front on the left, in the back on the right. I don't know if this, I don't think that would go well there. So, okay, so let's go back again. Let's see here. May have taken up quite a bit. Let's see. Okay, it looks like this page is about the only one I have left, and I hope it's wide enough because yeah, I think that's wide enough. Okay. Let's see if we can find that page on the back and see if that would be a good spot for this one. I think it would. All right, let's get those down. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac, and if I can get it open. Oh boy, okay. Wipe the top off just a little bit. Okay. All right, let's see. Just going to put some along this top seam part. Now, I'm not concerned with any of the raveling, but if you are, there's always that, what is it? Oh, I used to use it on my jeans, no ravel or something like that. I can't remember, but there is something, you know, that you could use if you're concerned about the ravel. Okay, I just want to bring this down. Let's see if I got that somewhat straight. Okay. Okay, it's all feeling pretty good. This is a loose weave, so it did come through here a little bit, but not too noticeable, and it'll dry clear, so that'll be nice. I just don't want pages to stick together. Let me see. That'll be fine. Okay, I hope. We'll come back to it in a second. All right, then we have this one. I roll my sleeves up so I don't glue myself to the journal. Okay. So this Fabri-Tac, it doesn't matter where I put it, how I put it. For some reason, it has like a vacuum to it, and it will ooze out. So I have to quickly put the lid on it, which is why my lid gets a little gooey at times, I think. All right, let me toss my trash here. Oh, I better save it until I get this down. Okay, let's see how that did. Not too bad. No oozing. Let's go back to this one and just double check it. All right, still a little tacky there. So I think I'm going to leave it open on that one. Let's see, let it dry a little bit. I think that's going to look good. I might do a little bit more ephemera. I'll do a flip through for sure when I'm completely done with this. But in the meanwhile, what I also wanted to do was to make some buttons and for the front because, you know, they are a little bit bulky. And again, here's a little button that I just made a little earlier with Kathy Holden's fabric. And it's her junk journal fabric. And then I picked out these 2 scraps to hopefully make some more. Now, oh no, where's the little one I had? This is it. Okay. Look how old this is. Typically, they now come with these little plastic bits. But this one is so old, it has a metal. So I'm hoping I can figure that out. I got them both, I think. Yeah. I got them both at the Legacy in Sebastopol, California. If you've never been there and you live, I would say, within an hour of it, it's definitely worth the trip. When I go to see Kathy, we hit it several times. I think we did it 2 or 3 times this last time I was there. So bear with me as I attempt to use this old-fashioned one. Still, I'm sure, very easy. So you have your base, you have your button top, the button back, and you have your, what do they call that? Let's see what they call it. The push something. Let's see if I can see it under here. The pusher. It's the pusher. Okay. That's easy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that. No, that's not it. That's not it. As you can clearly see by the directions. But I am going to... Oh, wait. Here it is. Okay. I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to hope that I cut it to where when I push this in, I can see that birdie. So I'm going to push that down in there. I might use my pusher a little bit. Okay. I'm going to push that down in. I don't think I got it good enough around. It needs to go all the way around. And I'm wondering if this is even going to work on this one, because I don't want to just get the body. It looks like I would just get the body. So let's try it with this. This one's bigger. I'll put that in. Oh wait, brother. Not a tutorial. Push that in. Okay, I am going to use this to make sure I get it nice, get it down there nice and tight. So see, I've got it nice and tight. And then I am going to trim this off just a little bit. Come on, scissors. You can do it. Oh boy. These are not my fabric scissors, obviously. And then I'm going to just push all that down in there. Now, if you feel like you have too much, you know, trim that off. And I'm going to use my pusher again to... Because you don't want so much that the back doesn't adhere nice. So I'm going to take just a little bit more off of there. Just a little bit. Okay. All right. Okay. I think that's good. Now I'm going to take my back and I'm going to put it in like that. Did I get this side? Okay, put it in there. And then I'm going to put this on. I'm not getting it. It's very easy, believe me, it's very easy. But I may have a little bit too much fabric and it's not wanting to snap. Oh, then there it goes. You can actually just feel it snap into place and then just give it a push from the back. Not perfectly centered on any particular thing, but we got a nice 6. Oh boy. Okay. Well, anyways, there's that. Do I have enough to do another one, even if... Let's try this one. I mean, it's not going to be... We're not going to get that bird, but it'll still be fun to see what we do get. It's kind of like when you, you know, make the master boards and you cut it out. You don't know what you're going to get until you turn it over. It's kind of like that. All right, it's nice, and double check it. It's in there nicely. Okay, I'll trim this back just a little bit with my very dull scissors. All right, fold it all in. Okay, put the back on. Somehow I keep pushing it crooked, and I'm not getting it in there. So once you get on a roll, you get on a roll, but I keep putting this one. I didn't have this trouble with the other one. There it goes. But I don't know why I'm having it. Maybe it's just a different... It's still very pretty, isn't it? Maybe it looks like a leaf on a tree or something, and not part of a bird. Or can you see the bird? Oh my gosh, we might have gotten it perfect. Haphazardly perfect. We're going to use it. We're going to use them all. Okay, well, I hope you give this a try. I know it seemed like a bust, but it's not. It's a lot of fun. I can tell you that when you go to your notions department, you're going to probably more than likely find something like this, which is a lot easier. These are just the right size, and then you have a spot for your thumb to push down, whereas you can see on this one, it's hollow. I mean, it still worked, obviously, but I don't know. I kind of feel like I like this one better. Maybe that's why it evolved into that. Maybe it's just a little bit more comfortable. Now I'll find a little Ziploc for these so they don't get all over the place, but it's so much fun. One day when I was at Kathy's, I just went, she has tons of scraps, don't we all? But, you know, it's so much more fun to play in somebody else's scraps, isn't it? So I went through her scraps, and I just sat there for probably 2 hours and watched Gail Augustinelli's YouTube channel and just made buttons. And it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. And so it's a good TV activity if you want to make some buttons. And, you know, maybe you want to make them for clothing, something you want to redo buttons, or maybe for a chair or something that you're doing. All right, so I think I have decided that I will do this one. And I think I'm going to put this big button in here, like that. And this little bird, maybe I will put up here. We'll see, 6 up there. I don't know. I don't know if these two will go on here or if I'll use, I've got some flat buttons that I could use. So I could do that, and then this would be the tie. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed watching the process of this little topper and how much fun it can be. And it's really a great project if you do something on the run. You can sit and do it in the car while you're waiting for the kids, or in front of the TV, or like I mentioned in my last video, or maybe the first video, I do this type of work when I'm traveling as well. So when I'm in flight, I keep everything in a little cigar box, and it makes it very easy to do. So, all right, everyone. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to see, and I'd love to hear your comments and suggestions. So, just want to remind everyone that Joey and I pray for you, and we pray blessings over you, and we hope you all are doing very well. And we just want to remind you that you're so loved. Easter's coming. We have an Easter dinner, Easter lunch planned with our girls and grandchildren. It's going to be a very easy lunch, and then maybe fly kites afterwards and blow bubbles, of course. And it's supposed to be very nice weather, so we're excited about that. We just hope that all of you have a nice Easter, and don't forget, especially during this Easter season, that you're so loved. All right, everybody, we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.